oath of affirmation, please, kindly.
The whole truth and nothing but the truth. So help me God.
I want to, pursuant to the County Government Act of 2020, that provides that whenever a vacancy arises in a county public service board, the governor shall nominate, and with the approval of the county assembly, appoint members to a selection panel for the purpose of selecting suitable candidates for appointment as members of the county public service board. The selection panel under subsection 1 shall consist of the following members: a chairperson not being a public officer, one person from the private sector, an advocate of the High Court of Kenya who is a member of the Law Society of Kenya, an accountant who is a member of the Institute of Certified Public Accountants of Kenya, and one person from an association representing workers. So it is in this regard that you have been nominated as an advocate of the High Court of Kenya who is a member of the Law Society of Kenya. I kindly introduce the members of the committee, and I request honorable members to introduce themselves, starting from my immediate left.
Honorable Julius Kipruto Keter is my name. Thank you.
Honorable Bridget Songo, member.
Honorable Chan Chebet, member in this committee.
Honorable Emmanuel Kipchumba Chemalan, member.
Honorable Edwin Kiprop, member.
Honorable Lydia Chepto, member.
Honorable Isaac Itzak Mosbey, member.
Thank you, honorable members.
My name is Moses Keme, Secretariat.
I'm Bill Hajeb Keme, Secretariat.
Thank you. Thank you for that brief introduction. I will kindly ask you, Honorable Willy Cheruiyot, some preliminaries. Do you have the following original documents with you? One, ID, your national ID card.
Yes, I submitted a certified copy.
Academic documents.
I also submitted them, certified copies.
Your curriculum vitae.
Submitted.
Do you have the relevant clearance certificates from the various institutions, Kenya Revenue Authority?
Submitted, Chair.
The Credit Reference Bureau?
Submitted, Honorable Chair.
The Higher Education Loans Board?
Submitted, Honorable Chair.
And the clearance from the DCI?
Okay, I did not submit the current one. I had some challenges in obtaining one. Honorable Chair, I'm currently at Moyale, that is the border of Kenya and Ethiopia. The nearest Huduma Center is in Marsabit, which is over 300 kilometers away from here. Due to work exigencies, I was unable to travel the 300 kilometers to be able to process that clearance from DCI. So what I submitted is not correct.
Thank you. Now, and so are you confirming to this committee that the originals that you have are the right copies that you submitted?
Yeah, I confirm.
Thank you. Now, can you briefly tell us about yourself?
Thank you, Honorable Chair. My name is Willy Cheruiyot. I was born about 45 years ago in Nandi County, specifically Aldai, in Kobujai Ward. I attended Kebuke Primary School up to class 8, then proceeded to Kemeloi Secondary School, now Kemeloi Boys, it was mixed then, but later transferred to Lorraine Secondary School. From there, I proceeded to Moi University in the year 1999 for my Bachelor of Laws degree and graduated in the year 2003. I also proceeded to the Kenya School of Law for a postgraduate diploma in law. Thereafter, I was admitted as an advocate of the High Court of Kenya in the year 2007, and I started my private practice. I practice privately in a law firm within Kapsabet. 20, when there were vacancies in the judiciary, and I applied to be a magistrate, second in as two professional then. Thereafter, I've worked in my first posting as a magistrate was at Thika Local, where I served from 2010 to 2012. I was then transferred to a court in Makueni called Our Law Courts, where I served from 2012 to 2015. I was then transferred to Nyahururu Law Courts, where I served briefly for 1 year before I was transferred to Vihiga, where I served for 3 years and transferred in 2019 to Mumias Law Courts, where I served again to this year, August, when I was transferred to my current station in Moyale Law Courts, currently serving as a senior resident magistrate. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Willy Cheruiyot. Can you kindly inform this committee what is your net worth?
Honorable Chair, my net worth is approximately 5 million.
Okay, thank you. Now I would like to allow honorable members to engage you in some questions, and I want to welcome Honorable Keter to proceed.
Thank you, Jay. Now that if given this opportunity, maybe you share with us what would you do within the first 7 days if given this opportunity.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. This process is guided by the law, specifically Section 58A of the County Government Amended Act of 2020, which provides that upon 5 days of appointment, the chair will convene the first meeting, and within 7 days, the first 7 days, the said panel will cause to be advertised in at least 2 dailies the vacancies that are there in the board. So within 7 days, the advert should be out.
Okay, alongside with that one, Honorable Nominee, could you be having some clue that how many workers currently that we have in Nandi County? Could you be in a position to tell us? Could you be knowing how many members, how many workers do we have in Nandi County so far?
Honorable Chair, I plead ignorance in that. I do not know the number of workers in Nandi County. I only hear that it is a plotted workforce. But as to the numbers, I am not aware, Honorable Chair.
Okay, lastly, do you have any relationship with the CEO Nandi County currently?
The CEO means the governor?
Yes.
I do not have any relationship with him.
Thank you, Chair.
It only happens that we come from the same, only that we come from the same word.
Okay, thank you, Honorable Willy Cheruiyot. I now call upon Ms. Bridget to proceed.
Thank you, Chair. My question to nominee. Do you have any other responsibilities within the judiciary apart from being a magistrate?
Okay, thank you, member and honorable chair. Being a magistrate in itself is not the only responsibility I have. I have served as a head of station in one of the magistrate stations. I currently sit in the lead served as a head of department in one of the stations that I served in Mumias Campus, where I was in charge of the registry, the succession registry, and that is what I do.
Okay. Another question, the last one. Have you ever been in charge in the court of law, despite that you are a judiciary? If so, state the nature.
Yes, I've been in charge. I've been a head of station, head of court station in Makueni, that is, according to Makueni law courts. I've headed that station, being in charge of the station.
I think, Honorable Cheruiyot,
Yes.
the member is simply meaning that have you ever have any judicial proceedings in the court that you have been charged?
Sorry for that. I did not get the question clearly. I've not been charged. I've not even been arrested.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. I call upon Honorable Joan.
Thank you, Chair. And through Chair, I want to ask Mr. Willy, according to your skills and accomplishments, basically, what contribution have you offered in the community, and where money is involved, how much did you contribute?
Thank you, member and chairman. I have served my community in various aspects. One, as you can see from my CV, I've been, for the last 15 years, I've been sitting in boards of several institutions. I've served as chairman of AIC Chetubuge Secondary School, the board of management. I've served as a member of AIC Kimyole Secondary School as chairman. I'm currently serving as the chairman of the board of management of Chebisas Girls, and I also sit in the board of management of Aldai Technical Training Institute as a member of the board of governors. I've also participated in several projects in my locality, water projects, road projects, and so on. How much I've contributed, I really cannot quantify. Since it is charitable work, I do not keep records of charity.
Thank you. Another question. The counties are having difficulties related to wage bills. Is the board to be blamed for these hiccups, and what should be done to make the new board work within the law?
Okay, thank you very much. As I earlier said, is that since I live in Nandi County, and from information from other counties, several of the counties are really struggling with wage bill, whereby the wage bill seems to be more than the development budget. I would say that one, blame will also lie on the Public Service Board, because in my understanding, they are supposed, before employing, they are supposed to know the HR needs of the county so that they do not overemploy. They should be able to advise the executive on, they should be able to do an HR audit and be able to advise the executive as to the number of employees who are required per department, so that we do not suffer these serious wage bill issues we're witnessing in our county and other counties. So, well, yes, the answer is yes. The board takes responsibility in that.
Thank you.
And on
The
the
last
second part, you
question.
asked, yes, okay, thank you.
The last question. We have seen so many board members they are resigning. What would have affected the performance of the outgoing board, and what mistakes should be avoided in putting the new board?
Okay, thank you. Honorable Chair, I'm aware that the chairman of the board resigned. I'm not very sure about the reasons for his resignation. But to safeguard this, for one, we cannot close out someone from resigning. Some people resign for greener pastures, which is within their right. But if the resignations are out of unwarranted pressure, then that is an issue which should be addressed. And addressing this issue is getting the right people for the job. We get someone who can be firm and who cannot bow down even to pressures, even from the appointing authority. Because this board is supposed to be an independent board, which basically reports actually to the county assembly. They are required to make their reports to the county assembly. And they can only be removed from office in a procedure of removal of constitutional office holders or be removed by the county assembly. So they should not be people who work under fear, because this is clearly a safeguarded office. So we need a person who is firm.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Member. I just have a question to you, Honorable Cheruiyot.
Yes.
If I can remember, you talked about a bloated staff. What
Yes.
advice can you give to fix this issue? Because already it is actually hitting on the development forte of the county government.
Okay, thank you. In my honest opinion, I think we need a serious HR review, so that as I earlier said, we should only have essential staff. I'm aware, because I've come from that county, that most of the staff are serving on contract. The county government may be forced to make very difficult decisions, so that even if it means not renewing contracts for those staff who are non-essential, then so be it, so that we save our county from this flooded wage bill and avoid unnecessary employment going forward.
Thank you. I now call upon Honorable Edwin to ask questions.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. To the nominee, how do you see yourself fit to this job? Convince this committee on your stability to the selection panel.
Okay, thank you very much, Honorable Chair. That question really is asking me to do a self-assessment. Chair, I have submitted my CV. It shows a record on the positions I've served. It shows I've served in several boards. That speaks volumes as to my suitability to serve even in this small assignment which I'm being considered. Sorry, I thought there was a power placard, but it's back. Thank you. Now, as I said, my CV speaks for itself. Spanning those number of years, serving in both public and community organizations, I think that makes me suitable for this job. Also, given my qualifications, which I intend to use to guide the panel in executing their mandate, so that we have the right people for the right job.
Thank you. Sir Willy, as far as your knowledge is concerned, which position in Nandi County Public Service Board is vacant?
Okay, thank you, Honorable Chair. As far as I'm knowledgeable on the issues pertaining the service board, I'm aware that the position of chairperson is vacant. I'm also aware that the position of chairperson is vacant subject to resignation. I'm aware that the position of secretary to the board is also vacant. Fortunately, the person who was the acting secretary passed on sometimes last year or 2 years ago, and that position is vacant. It had not been filled substantively. There was only an acting person. I'm also aware, I think, that one member is also missing in the board.
Thank you, Chair. You've said that you're the magistrate. You mostly give out roles in the court. So, for instance, if given the opportunity and someone has wronged, will you rule directly on your, or do you be using your court law, or you'll be using the procedural way of the county government?
Okay, thank you very much, Chair. Every organization is guided by the law and procedure. In this case, basically we are guided by the Constitution of Kenya 2010 and the County Government Act 2012 as amended in 2020. So we shall follow the regulations. I'll follow the regulations as set out in the Constitution and the County Government Act, or any other rules as may be developed by the Assembly.
Thank you, Honorable Member. Maybe on a follow-up question, Honorable Cheruiyot, you've mentioned that you are aware that the position of the chairperson is vacant. What, as a member
Yes.
of the selection panel, what are the attributes that you are going to look into, so that as the selection panel, you will give us a nominee who is qualified for the job?
Okay, thank you, Chairman, Honorable Chair. One, on the issue of qualifications first, that is academic qualifications and so on, the same is set out in the law. That should be, if my memory serves me right, should be section 55 all the way to 58, provides the qualifications for the chairperson. This is a person who should, on the minimum, hold a bachelor's degree and have 10 years experience in his field. So apart from those academic qualifications, I think we shall also, if successfully, shall also look into the integrity of the said past applicant, whether he satisfies the requirements of integrity, whether this person, number two, is committed. Actually, this should be a person who is committed to the welfare of our county in terms of HR issues. So we need a person also, in my opinion, who understands very well issues to do with HR and also management, so that we have the right person for this job.
Thank you, Honorable Cheruiyot. I now call upon Honorable Lydia to proceed and ask her questions.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Cheruiyot, what is the duration to the term of the office for which you have been nominated to?
In my estimation, it may not go beyond 1 month. Looking at section 58 on the timelines to advertise, to interview, and to give the report, it may not go beyond 1 month.
Okay. Next question. Let's take an example. You have been nominated to this position, how will you go about if your immediate relatives have applied for the position?
Okay, thank you, member and chairperson. That is a very interesting question, and which can happen to all of us. First, if someone I know who is close to me, maybe as a relative, as you say, or even as a close friend, applies and is invited for interview, the first thing to do is to declare any conflict of interest that may arise. So I have to declare to the panelists the conflict of interest that may arise. I think that is very important.
Thank you, Honorable Member. I just want to call upon Honorable Mospei to proceed.
Thank you, Chairman and the nominee. Two follow-up questions. From your introduction, Honorable Willy, you've said that you failed to get clearance from DCI because of issues of distance and such kind of stuff. Could it be
Yes.
that you are having some running case with the DCI, or, I mean, how should we treat this, given that you are going to find yourself, if we clear you, you're going to find yourself in a similar situation with the potential applicant or potential member of the boards that you are going to recruit?
Okay, thank you very much, honorable member. And before I answer that, maybe I can disclose to this committee that the only person I know in the panel is the honorable Mospe. Thank you very much for that follow-up question. Now, the issue, as I said, given the short timeline that I got, that was required for me to submit that document, and given that distance and agencies of work, and also insecurity in terms of traveling in this region, I was unable to do that. But one, I do not have a running case, and if I had a running case, I would not be working as a magistrate. Because once you have a running case and you are charged, as a state officer, you are required to stop your services until you are cleared. So since I'm a state officer and I'm still in office, I actually do not have any running case.
Now, thank you for the disclosure. And again, from your presentation and your CV, you are a very strong Christian and a very passionate member of AIC, and that I know. Now, given that you are going to, and the other thing also is that you are a very passionate member of community who is involved in so many activities. Could this be providing you an opportunity, perhaps to cut a deal and get somebody on board who will foster or who will push your passion further?
Thank you, Honorable Chair. I think you've made some of the disclosures out of the knowledge you know of me. Now, as you said, I'm passionate about community development, and as I've always done, I've not been doing it so that I get something in return. I do it for the community as a gift, as a CSR, if I can use that word. Now, I do not envisage a situation where I would want to reward anyone so that the person will will engage with me in terms of CSR activities. CSR activities are voluntary activities. Someone can be in very high position, but may not participate in CSR activities. This is something which is done out of the heart. So it is not about rewarding anyone in order to give back to the society together with me. I do it out of my personal of my personal drive.
Now, finally, through the chair again, Honorable nominee, why do you think the framers of our constitution saw it fit that we should have a lawyer or a magistrate in your case in a selection panel like this? Why do you think? Was it wise? Is it necessary? What is the role? Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. I think the framers of the constitution and the legislature in enacting the County Government Act saw it fit because these are positions, this is a process which also requires interpretation as to the qualifications of a person. It requires interpretation of the Constitution because, as I said earlier, the establishment of the Public Service Board is anchored in the Constitution, Article 235, and also anchored in the County Government Act. These are issues which may arise some of these issues may arise in the course of the activities of the nomination panel and may need interpretation. So I think in their wisdom, they required a lawyer so that he can assist the nominating panel in interpreting the various requirements of the law.
Thank you, Honorable Mosby. Maybe I have a question, Honorable Cheruiyot, and about the independence of the board. In a scenario whereby we now, during the process of execution of your duty, and maybe you have some external pressure, especially on the person who is going to be the chairman of the board, how will you handle such situations?
Thank you, Chairperson. As you can see, Chairperson, before 2020, there was no requirement for the committee to vet nominees to this panel. But after 2020, when the act was amended, that requirement of vetting the nominees to the panel was introduced. This means, therefore, that this involves a rigorous process by yourselves to ensure that you have a person of integrity who may not be swayed even by the appointing authority. This is a panel which, in my opinion, is answerable not specifically to the nominating authority, which is the CEO of the county, but is answerable to this assembly because of the vetting process that you have undertaken. So that means, as you vet, you will be able to gauge whether a particular nominee is a person of integrity who may not be swayed. So that amendment, in my opinion, was to protect the nominating authority from influencing the outcome from the nominees. So, in my opinion, I'll stand firm, I'll stand firm and ensure fidelity to the Constitution and the law, so that we get the right person for our county without any external pressures.
Okay, thank you, Honorable Member. May I call upon Honorable Emmanuel to proceed and ask the questions?
Thank you so much, Chair. Allow me, Chair, to ask our Honorable nominee to highlight some of the challenges facing this board, Nandi County Public Service Board.
Okay, thank you very much, Member and the Chairman. I think the greatest challenge which the Public Service Board is going to experience, as I said earlier, is how to streamline public service in our county. There is a lot of streamlining to be done so that we have enough money remaining for development, since all of us, of course, require development. So that is the greatest challenge they have. And I know that they will also have pressures. That is, pressures will always be there from at times the executive, from even at times the assembly, because people may have various interests. So that is the greatest challenge. This board must exercise a very serious balancing act to ensure that although there are interests here and there, to see how those interests can be balanced with their objective of having a very competitive process of recruitment and having the right people for the right job for our county. So they must stand firm in so that they withstand that pressure and challenge.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. May I now allow Mr. Keter to, he has a follow-up question.
Okay, thank you, Chair. Maybe through the Chair. Now, if given this chance, how much time do you need to sort out all these kind of messes that we hear from county government?
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for that question. Actually, the work of this panel is clearly cut out. Its work is to recruit members of the Public Service Board competitively and to ensure that we have the right people on board. It will now be upon the recruited members of the board to ensure that they clear out what we are calling the mess in terms of the workforce. It is not actually the responsibility of this panel. It is the responsibility of the board.
Okay, thank you, Honorable Cheruiyot. Maybe one follow-up question. Considering the fact that because of the distance that you are in, you are not able to make it to physically to come and face this committee. Now,
yes.
What about if you will be given this opportunity to sit in that panel, and considering the nature of your work, how will you handle the situation?
Okay, thank you very much. Before I decided to do this and maybe to accept the nomination, I had to find out when that exercise is likely to be conducted. And the exercise is likely to be conducted in the days when I'll be on leave, because I'm taking my leave shortly up to the end of the year. And I was reliably informed that that exercise may proceed within that period.
What about now if the exercise will not be conducted during when you will be on leave?
Okay, Chair, I'll always find a way of proceeding, and even if it comes to the worst, proceeding in this manner that we are proceeding today. I believe we are in this era where we can also employ technology as an enabler of dispensing our responsibilities. I do not think distance can be such a great issue.
Okay, thank you. May I call upon Honorable Mosbey to ask a follow-up question?
Honorable Willy, you are aware, out there in the population there is a lot of despondency, whereby the feeling is that the chairman is already known. or rather the members who shall join the Public Service Board are already known that this is a mere formality. What we are here is a mere formality, and end of quote. Precisely, do you know the next chairman or the next members of the board?
That's a very interesting question. I do not even know who will apply once the advert is out. That's my short answer.
Thank you, Honorable Willy Cheruiyot. Maybe now, on behalf of the committee, I will allow you to make your final remarks.
Okay. Thank you very much, Honorable Chair and the members. I take this opportunity to thank you for graciously allowing me to participate in this exercise virtually. I did my request on email and I received a positive feedback. I am of the opinion that this is a very progressive way of doing things, that the assembly, that your committee, and I believe the assembly at large, is progressively adopting technology, which is the best way to go. This is an aspect which we learned lessons from COVID-19. I can tell you, Chairman, that during the COVID-19, in the discharge of my duties, I was able to discharge my duties while at home, hearing cases and even delivering judgments from home. This is something which we must encourage. I thank you, Chairman, for that. Secondly, I want to inform this committee that if considered for that exercise, I'll give my best shot for the prosperity of our great county. I'm passionate about prosperity of our great county. I'm passionate about the community I come from. And this, in my opinion, is also another chance to give back in terms of services to my great county. Otherwise, I thank you very much for affording me this opportunity to address you on these issues.
Okay, thank you very much, Honorable Cheruiyot. On behalf also of the committee, I want to take this opportunity to thank you for the interactive session that we have had together, and I want to wish you well in all your endeavors. May God bless you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. God bless.